right, good evening, everybody. I am going to call the October 14th Committee of the Whole to order. We'll start with roll call.
Who's here? Alderperson Bellinger.
Here.
Alderperson Vorse.
Here.
Alderperson Close.
Here.
Alderperson Decker.
Here.
Alderperson Heidemann.
Here.
Alderperson LaFave.
Here.
Alderperson Menzer.
Here.
Alderperson Mitchell.
Here.
Alderperson Perella.
Here.
Alderperson Rust.
Present.
There are 10 present.
All right, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I'm looking for approval of the minutes from the September 15th meeting.
So moved.
Alder Bellinger made the motion and Alder Perella made the second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Chair votes aye. Those minutes are approved. All right, anybody for public forum? Or are we just?
Nobody's signed up. Nope.
Okay, all right. Then we'll move on to item number 6. Pursuant to Chapter 65.90 of the laws of Wisconsin and notice published, this hearing is scheduled to give any taxpayer or resident of the governmental unit the opportunity to be heard on the proposed 2026 budget. Any interested persons may be heard. Does anyone wish to be heard? Does anyone wish to be heard? Does anyone wish to be heard? Alrighty, then I am going to ask for a motion to close the hearing.
Move to close the hearing.
Alder Decker made the motion and Alder Perella made the second. All in favor of closing?
Aye.
All opposed? Chair votes aye. That is closed. Item number 7, resolution number 110-25-26 by Alderpersons Rust and Decker, establishing the 2026 budget appropriations and the 2025 tax levy for use during the calendar year. City Administrator.
All right. So we sent out a memo. I believe it came out last night when we got it to everyone. Just to kind of run through the various changes. I know when we had our last presentation, we talked, there was a number of outstanding things. So we got you some updated information on our health insurance dental rates, the impacts on the property tax levy, some transfers that we updated. Highway aid, we finally got that information in. It actually decreased by $345,000. Our CIVMIC grant went down a little bit. Parking utilities went down. Street maintenance and repair, we made some adjustments there. And then we have updated what the project list will be for the in-house projects next year. A public works staffing adjustment that was made based on that was based on the Bold Path study, sorry. And then we also had another adjustment for the wastewater treatment plant as well. The adjustments for ambulance revenue and then transit fund, we had some changes moving revenue from tax levy to CDBG grant. That was initially we thought that CDBG grant funding would be eliminated. We're able to add that back in. We did get indication that we will get those funds. TID, we removed the land purchased in TID 18, and we believe that all of the site cleanup costs will be completed in 2025 for TID 21. So those project costs were removed from the budget as well. We still have a couple outstanding items. We have finalization of the wastewater user fees and budget, and then the State Department of Revenue still needs to release the manufacturing assessed values. We still only have their estimate. We're operating off of that. So as of right now, the tax levy increases for 2026 by 2.55% compared to 2025. So the estimated tax rate is expected to decrease by 5.62% to $6.25 per thousand. This amount of the net new construction. So this is the increase in our tax levy that is not increasing taxes, but it's based on the new value that's created. So this is what we're limited to is 1.07. So our net new construction was 1.07%, and that 1.4% increase that we're seeing there, that is kind of spread through the additional DPW projects, things like that we're able to do with that funding. So with that, I know we had a couple questions in regards to fund balance. So I asked Finance Director Krieger to put together just kind of a rundown of how we're using fund balance. And I know it kind of shows as the way it's shown looks like there's a $10 million deficit. That's not the case. And she'll walk us through that. So Caitlin.
Director Krieger.
Thank you. There is a slide that I have prepared for this, but I will run through it via my discussion first until IT gets it on the screen. I will also share it if requested to all the alders as well. The first thing that I want to mention is that the deficit that you see is truly the use of fund balance or cash on hand in order to either pay for one-time expenses or to fulfill a budget need in certain funds. This is spread out amongst all of the categories, as you can see on that budget summary. The general fund is anticipating using $513,000 of fund balance. This is a recurring item that we put into the budget of $500,000 to cover unexpected or one-time emergent type expenses that weren't anticipated. For example, in 2023, I believe, it might have been 2022, there was a sinkhole type issue on a street that was covered with this type of funding. So that was a transfer that was made within the budget using this contingency fund so that we can make sure to go ahead and get those emergent purchases or projects completed. IT fund has the same thing budgeted within it, is $100,000 for contingency or emergency repairs. Because of the current status of the IT department, and I know all of you are well aware that we're still working through items through the improvements in security, we wanted to make sure that we set aside those monies that aren't being utilized yet this year for next year to complete more of those projects. The Affordable Housing Fund sees a use of fund balance of $714,188. This is a planned expense as well annually towards the mortgage payment on the Gartman Farm purchase that was done several years ago. The fund balance there has been set aside for the affordable housing. That was former TID funds that were then allocated to the Affordable Housing Fund for these types of projects. The Special Assessment Fund, we have also been doing this annually. $161,000 is going to be transferred to Capital Projects Fund in order to assist with the sidewalk projects that are being completed. The capital project funds, this is a transfer to the motor vehicle fund for the vehicle purchases. So this is, again, it matches that dollar amount. The various TID funds, this one is a little bit different. We have a use of fund balance, but then also an addition of fund balance. So TID funds are contained within that capital fund column. So we have $1.3 approximately million of either previously issued debt that we are planning to utilize on projects or fund balance in order to balance those budgets. But we also have an addition to fund balance within TIDS of about $1.1 million. So those are items that those are the funds that the revenues are actually over the expenses in those categories for those particular funds. And those are either going to be utilized to offset previous deficits that have occurred within those funds. Often that's because projects are completed and we have to have the increment build up into those funds over time, or they're going to be utilized for future projects as well. Lastly, and the biggest one, which is I think the most concern for everybody at this moment, is the wastewater fund. I will tell you that I had a meeting today in order to start working through some of the outstanding items on the wastewater fund. That currently has, it looks like it's a $7.6 million deficit or use of fund balance, and I can tell you at this moment that is not going to be the case. We have quite a few capital fund or capital projects within that fund that have either been not borrowed for, but planned for previously that have not come to fruition. For example, there is a Southside Interceptor project or Shore Interceptor project, mixed up the names there, that has been on the budget, I believe, since 2022. It is partially grant funded, but we have not received the go-ahead from the federal government in order to proceed with that project. So it's one of these projects that continues to get deferred until we hear from that grant program. It, I think, covers about 75% of the project, which is why we've postponed until we find that out. So the $7.6 million is definitely not going to be the finalized number. Because I just got to meet with the wastewater team today and our consultant who actually builds our rate tool, I will have some more finalized numbers, hopefully at the beginning of next week, after some more discussion with Administrator Bradley on the finalization of that project list.
Are there any questions for the administrator or finance director? Seeing none, I would need a motion to recommend council for adoption.
Second.
Alder Bellinger made the motion. Alder Decker made the second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Chair votes aye. That is approved. Our next date will be to be determined, and I'll leave at Let's Go Brewers. And I need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Bellinger made the motion. Decker made the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. We're adjourned at 6:13. Thanks, everybody.
My goal was 15 minutes. We did it.